Oh yeah. I get around. Still
It's all right. Well, let's recap Raw, and like I said, let's try to breeze through it because really, I mean, other than a couple of matches here, that one match could have been, one match shouldn't have been, the Divas thing that should have been a little longer.
Nah.
Because of because of Mickie James. I mean,
yeah, but I wasn't too interested. I like to see the women wrestle, man. I think the real women have a good spot right now, and they need to wrestle.
All right. So with that being said, the show opens up with Randy Orton, and he shows Legacy, and then they show the actual fan who interfered in the match, which was Brett DiBiase, the younger brother of Ted DiBiase,
right,
and one of the sons of the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
And he kind of looks crappy.
You think so?
I don't think. I mean, he just doesn't fit for me.
Well, he's worked very hard.
I'm not gonna talk about his ability yet because I really haven't seen it. I don't really know anything about this guy yet.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, just from what he looked like next to them, he didn't fit into that Legacy group.
They come out and they introduced him. So after that segment, and I guess Orton says that he'll never interfere with his matches again, which I don't believe for a second.
Which I think they're setting up for something big.
Yeah. Well, you know, and also too, why would McMahon say that if anybody else interferes in the match, you know, Orton is stripped from the title?
Right.
You know, who knows? I mean, there's a lot of things that can go different from there. Maybe Brett, you know, will go ahead and interfere again. You know,
I think
it might cause some rift between Orton because he lost his title and Ted DiBiase.
Right. I think it's all set up for Orton to lose, basically.
I think so because, like I said, Orton as champion, I have never ever seen a champion win the way he has been. I mean, I've never seen Orton has not since I want to say since he's been this champion, since this reign.
Someone 1, 2, 3 without interference.
Without interference.
Yeah, I have to agree. But then the thing is, you're also going into a major pay-per-view now that they're just going to bring in a submissions match with a wrestler who has no submissions.
Right.
So I think this whole storyline's for him to lose.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I you know, going into Breaking Point, you know, I would say, you know, if we had to do Ray's pick right now,
right,
I would say, yeah, John Cena would be the new.
Right, but I think the way they're playing it is actually pretty good. I'm not a big fan of these major guys up on top like Cena and stuff, but I'm a big Orton fan, and I think the way they're setting this up, little by little, it could work, and it's a good way to take Orton away from the title.
At this point, I started to Twitter.
Right.
On my comments. Actually, I was Twittering last night. I got TiVo. I started to watch it last night.
Right.
So I was actually Twittering. What is it? Is it the Mike and Ray Show on Twitter?
Right.
Okay, so if you want to search us and I guess follow us on there as well. I mean, we also, as we've learned throughout the day on breaking news,
right,
you know, we try our best to also post it on there.
Yeah, we're doing everything. We're doing everything from entertainment to like Hollywood news. We're doing all types of sports. I'm talking about soccer, NASCAR, everything on there for all types of fans. Because we started just talking about wrestling, and we were getting all the wrestling fans, but I wanted to bring in a little more, so we're doing it all.
And you know what, too?
It all.
I wanted to bring up, too, that they mention, when they mention us on their tweet, or whatever, whatever they call it, they're actually giving us kind of props. Like, so for example, you know, they're kind of saying, hey, they're posting the same thing that we said, and they're giving us the credit of coming out with the news first.
That's cool.
So that's cool. I like that. And I guess I figured that part out that much. But I was Twittering about this segment here. Lillian Garcia, which is her days are numbered, introduces Vince McMahon. And he does that ridiculous strunt. You know, it's a rib. I get it. It's just stupid, though. Because it looks like he's going down the ramp with, like, something up his ass.
Yeah.
So he comes out, and he announces the rematch at Breaking Point, and he also broke the news that all the main event, which we were told wrong, but all the main events, you know, or the championship matches, whatever it may be, are submission matches.
Right. And no one was excited about that.
Nobody. There was nothing.
People kind of like were ready to go to the bathroom, go buy some more popcorn. They were not even moving.
And then, you know, you would think that like the world was coming to an end on Vince McMahon. I mean, how are you if you're Vince McMahon in the middle of the ring, and when you make a match with a rematch for the World Heavyweight Championship? Well, no, I'm sorry. See, this is why I get confused with the two damn belts. the WWE Heavyweight Championship match, the rematch between Randy Orton, and when he mentioned John Cena,
People booed.
people booed, and he had to acknowledge it.
Exactly. He had to stand there and listen to it.
He did.
And it was stupid.
Now, see, here's the thing. They couldn't drown it out this time.
They couldn't. Raw doesn't drown out as much as SmackDown does.
No. Raw does. But the thing is, we say that sometimes they drown out the boos with cheers with their own little audio track in the back of the production truck.
Right.
And DX proved that point when they added the sound effects when when they were showing the videos. But what I'm saying is, the reason why they couldn't drown out the boos at that particular time, because Vince had to make a comment about the boos.
Right.
Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Vince had to say, "You never know what you're going to get here at the WWE or on Raw, so settle down."
Right.
And if he said that and people were cheering, it wouldn't make sense.
I think this whole pay-per-view is for Cena.
Well, yeah.
Like the spinner belt. I think that they're doing so much to get Cena back to the top
I hate
that
that
they're
belt.
creating everything. They created the belt for him. They got a whole new look for him now. They're dropping his Marine gimmick, and now they're creating a submission pay-per-view. Right now, he's the only guy in the whole roster of Raw who's got a real submission besides Jericho, who just comes in there.
Well,
as
don't forget
appearances.
the giant clutch, whatever they're calling it, the Big Show.
Big Show. But come on, but they got a little sparkle out of that match in that feud.
Right.
So now they're building this big pay-per-view with a whole bunch of rosters. I think the only other person on Raw who's got a submission, I think, is Maurice.
Why are they doing all submission match anyway? Like it's gonna wow us.
I don't know. I don't get it. I really don't.
Why, out of all these years, they're making a stipulation match like that?
I think they're lost. They're really lost on that.
Well, they are lost because they don't know what to do. I mean, they want to go PG,
Right.
but they can't have no more First Blood matches.
Right.
They can't have, chairs to the head matches anymore.
Right.
They pushed their limits with the TLC match.
Right.
Which is besides the, I'm not even, Hell in a Cell's not all that bad to a TLC match.
No. But I think the only good thing that's going to come out of a submissions match is that we're actually going to get one more wrestling move in the match. It's an actual hold. So that's the only thing that's going to come out of it for a real wrestling fan. But the pay-per-view, I think, is going to be lame. And I think it's all based upon rebuilding Cena.
So going back to what happened, the DX comes and they interrupt Vince.
Right.
And they go ahead and they make this big old thing about his birthday. And then when it seems like they're going to end it, they brung in the showgirls.
Right.
They brung in the Cirque du Soleil guys, which...
The naked stripper dancer cake guy.
How PG is that?
I don't know. He's in a thong.
How PG is that when he's in a thong, he's naked,
Showing more than the Divas.
and his sack is hanging out outside his banana hammock?
I mean, I don't know.
I don't get it.
I don't know.
So,
Good thing LA Times was there Sunday, not Monday.
yeah. Well, I mean, still, it doesn't matter. I mean, they would see the show.
Yeah, if he was watching it, but he wasn't a fan, so he was bought out. So
It just it's weird. But the thing is, I was watching my TiVo when I was fast forwarding it through most of it, right?
Right.
Which I thought those guys from the Cirque du Soleil was gonna do some flips.
Right.
They didn't, and I think that's why Triple H kind of
Yeah.
ribbed it a little bit by jumping up and down too. Like, hey, I could do it too.
Yeah.
Big wow.
There was no room in there, man. Someone's gonna get hurt.
But then Legacy comes out and they attack him.
Right.
Okay.
Which was I liked. I like how Legacy
liked it.
sneaks out.
I
and
liked
attacks.
it, but it was like 15 minutes too late.
Right.
The
Exactly.
whole segment was 27 minutes.
Right.
27 minutes, and
Right.
according to these matches that they've been doing lately,
Right.
that could have been 3 or 4 matches.
Yep.
Good matches.
Yep.
But instead, they want to waste time with this DX crap
Yep.
and this Vince McMahon stuff.
And that's why Vince McMahon is still complaining in the back about his Divas division, and he had to cram all the Divas into one match
Yeah.
because of that DX crap. And let me tell you something: the DX I cannot stand. I'm not a big fan of it. I know there's a lot of people that like it, and I'm not too mad that they're back because the simple fact that the crowd is actually giving WWE their props and is getting excited over certain things. That's cool. I like to see the crowd get excited for the WWE. I like to see all the screaming and the cheering and everyone throwing up the signs. It reminds me of the good old days.